Hello everyone and welcome to a new series we're going to be running on the channel called RimWorld. It's a pretty fun colony simulator, and kind of along the same veins as Dwarf Fortress or Prison Architect, just to give you an idea of the style of gameplay. The general premise is you've got three colonists who crash land from a colony ship on this RimWorld out in the very edges of the solar system. It should be pretty fun. I've seen some gameplay footage and I've run through the tutorial, so I've got a bit of an idea of how this is going to go. So without further ado, let's get ourselves a colony. You can pick your storyteller, who's going to control the narrative, events like pirate raids, resource drops, animal attacks, things like that. Cassandra Classic is the standard one. Starts you off relatively easily and then gradually ramps things up. Then there's a slightly more relaxed version and a completely random one. We're going to go with Cassandra Classic because that's probably the most sensible option for something that's going to be enjoyable to view. And to seed the world, we're going to call it The Void. Now with those options that you just saw there, the world is always the same size, but you choose how much of it is going to generate. If I just spin this around, because realistically you're not going to explore most of it, it just makes it a little bit faster for game creation. Now we want somewhere with a little bit of water and some forest and general. Actually, this looks pretty good. I think we'll set down here. So we now get to pick who it is we're going to be taking along. We start off with 3 people, and pretty much I'm going to keep everyone that we start with, except I'm going to re-roll anyone that's got major debilitating conditions, because that can kill us off quite easily. Having a pyromaniac, fire destroys colonies, very, very bad. They won't do firefighting, and they've got an addiction, so we're going to re-roll them into someone a bit better. Passion for working with animals, that could be interesting. Hard worker as well. Reasonable skills all along. Alright, we'll keep you. A little bit nervous, which means there's a chance they're going to go crazy, but hopefully they won't. What we do want is we want at least one person who can shoot. We want at least one person who can grow. Neither of these two can cook. Also incapable of dumb labour. So we're going to re-roll you. Growing 2, that's not exactly ideal. Let's randomize you again. You're good at social. No, that's not bad. A couple of injuries, but generally pretty good. Okay, so we'll keep the neuroscientist. A little bit greedy, a little bit abrasive, and a bit of a fighter up close and personal. It takes all sorts, I guess. We still want someone who is good at growing, though. So we're going to re-roll this one until we actually get a decent grower. And I'd say a decent grower is anyone who's above 5. Above 5, we can actually make heal root. There we go. Absolutely perfect. Can't shoot at all. So yeah, we're pretty much not going to have anyone that can really defend us. But overall, this should be fine. So works a little bit faster. Could potentially break. Also works a little bit slower. So those two cancel each other out a little bit. Yeah. This should be alright. Now, the very first thing it's going to do is the 3 pods are going to crash land. And then our people are going to pop out. Right. Now, we want to equip them with weapons. So let's bring up the various stats again. You can't shoot. Kevin can't shoot. Ricky can shoot. So Ricky's going to get the bolt action rifle. You've got a passion for melee. You don't. So you get the pistol. Where is the pistol? The pistol's down there. And that means you're going to get the knife. Nicely done. Okay, having a quick look at the map. This is actually a pretty good place for us to potentially start building. We've got a nice little building already prepared for us, so we could head round and start working in this bit and then potentially like set up a colony inside. Setting up a colony inside is going to take us a little bit more time than if we were to set up one outside, mostly because digging takes time. I do think it is better for us to defend ourselves well under there. Also, a whole bunch of stuff has crash landed across the map. So here, we've got 44 packaged survival meals, but if I zoom out a little bit and we try that again. There's 48 because there's some more just landed over there. We're going to unforbid those so that our people can grab them. And there's another 3 up there. Right, let's have a look, see what else there might be. There's steel all over the place as well. Let's unforbid that. That's a lot of steel to start off with, potentially. And these are animals. It's important to just survey what you've got in the way of usable goods. We'll unforbid that steel as well. It means that there's a chance they're going to run and grab it, which is potentially inconvenient. But hopefully, if I'm careful over how I manage their work priorities, which was set up in just a moment, that won't be too much of an issue. Okay. So looking at where we've started, I think I'm actually going to set this up as our main living area / growing area. So what we're going to do is we're going to do probably a stockpile down here, get people to start moving stuff down, and we're going to get some bits and bobs going. So work priorities first, that's what I said I was going to do. We're going to give people a little bit of joy time in the middle of the day, and at the end of the day, the rest of it we're going to assign to work. We want people to be doing stuff as often as possible. Now, some people do actually enjoy the work that they're doing, which is pretty good, because we need to keep people happy as well as keep them fed and watered and protected and all that. Right, firefighting must be the highest priority. If you're injured, that is the next highest priority. Doctoring, next highest. Bed rest as well. Flicking switches, everyone gets that, because flicking a switch shouldn't be too difficult, and sometimes we just really need to turn stuff on or off. Okay, what else have we got? You're going to do research when you're not doctoring. So we'll put doctoring as highest, and I think you're going to be our just general doctor, researcher, and cook. Why not? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. You're going to be our miner, so we'll get you doing that as a primary thing. You're also going to be our builder, so those are your major priorities. And you can become the smith, get rid of that, and the tailor. You can also craft, and the rest of the time you're going to be hauling. You could also potentially help out with growing and stuff, but I think that's probably going to be the best. We'll set you as the primary animal handler. And in fact, we'll also put you as a bit of a grower. Yeah, that seems to be pretty straightforward. Relatively easy priorities to set to start off with. The urgent stuff obviously gets the highest priority. Everything else can wait. Right. Now, with our stockpile, we want to set a general stockpile for everything to be moved to. We also want to put a roof above our food items so that they don't deteriorate, and the same with other components. In fact, let's deconstruct this stockpile. Oh, in fact, sorry, that's the wrong one. I want to delete zones. There we go. So that's gone. And we're going to do the stockpile just down here. And that'll be for pretty much everything. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set some growing zones. In fact, we can start people moving stuff around while we're doing that. Growing zones are going to be just a little bit over here, and we're going to get some wood and beds going, actually. Let's unforbid those. We need beds first of all, and we're going to need a little house thing for them to sit in. So, structure, walls. We're going to get this going straight away. Let's build like this. Pretty boring area first of all. We'll call that a door, and we will get some beds in here. 1, 2, and we'll rotate that one that way just so people aren't sleeping right next to each other. I don't think it makes a difference, but it's better to have that than not. We'll put a wood floor in there as well. It's a bit tiny, it's a little bit cramped. They're not going to be too happy with it for too long, but it will do to get us started. We'll get a torch in there so they've got a little bit of light. While they're doing that, we can work on zoning out our growing areas because we need to get a food source going. So we'll do a 5x5 there, we'll do a 5x5 there, and we'll do a 5x5 here. This one is going to be heal root. Minimum skill 8, so it's going to be a while before we can actually get that going. This one's going to be rice, and we'll keep this one as potatoes. Right, we can up the speed a little bit. While that's going on, we can plan out what we're going to be doing for the rest of the stuff. We need to get people their own bedrooms. We also need a table and chairs. Keeping people happy is incredibly important. Sleeping outside will make them unhappy. Eating without a table will make them unhappy. So for now, I think we'll just put a little table over here, and we'll put some chairs right next to it. There we go. So colonist beds are nearly all sorted, and this room will do to start off with, and then we'll get people their own individual bedrooms. Seeing as we've actually got a dog with us, we'll also put an animal sleeping spot in here, so the dog can sleep indoors with the rest of us. As we build areas, they will put roofs over the top of it. If I go back very quickly to this, I can show how much is roofed at the moment. As he finishes off the wall, it'll actually protect it from the elements, and that'll give them somewhere nice and safe there. You can see the roof going up over the top. So our colonists have somewhere indoors to sleep now. Let's start planning out the next things. So we need a room for each of them. We're going to need a room for the larder, which we're going to eventually have refrigeration units in. And in fact, while I think about it, let's put a door there just to block that off, so we've only got one direction that we need to worry about things attacking us from. Our people can walk through without problem, but that's not going to... it'll stop random passers-by coming through, and we can build up a little trap system just in case we get assaulted from this side. Over here, we're going to plan out the next building. Now, I'm probably going to dig in, even though it's going to take a little bit of time, but I want to make sure that people are happy before we do that. So we're going to secure this area off. There we go, that's a decent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5x5 internal. We'll get another one going right next to it. And what we'll probably do is we'll probably set up a little corridor thing just outside. We did not want a door there, we want that to be a wall. Can I cancel that? There we go. Cancel that one. Got to make sure that they're all nicely laid out. There we go. I'm going to mine, in fact, this is a granite wall, so we can deconstruct this and that will give us granite blocks. We may as well get each of those deconstructed, and that will give us enough space for the next wall going across there. Back to this, we want floors in each of these areas, and as they get built, we can move the various beds across, and that will keep our people happy because they'll have their own bedrooms, prevent them getting disturbed at night. Now that, let's just mine that to get that out of the way. And I think we're going to want our initial larder just over here. So let's have it a little bit. In fact, if we have another bedroom there, we can have the larder up. We'll have the larder tacking onto this area. That's fine. So we're going to have a wall going like that, a wall going like that, and eventually this is going to form our little cross path emergency defense thing. Larder can go like that. We'll close it off there, and we are going to get some cooling planned for this. Now, the cooler is going to need electricity, so we're going to have to build some solar generators. Not really a problem, but the batteries for it will need to be undercover. So that's going to take us a little bit of time to get sorted. We'll also just have a door in... we'll have it in that side. In fact, let's not have it there. Let's have it in the south side. South side? No, we'll have it in this side, actually, so that they can bring stuff straight in. In fact, being massively indecisive as I am, we'll extend this along. What is that? Oh, that's where I had the cooler. That's fine. So, door over here. So we're keeping to the rough structure. We'll also have No, that's going to be fine. So our people are running around to haul the various bits of steel. It is going to be a little bit slower while they're doing that to start off with, but it's worth it in the long run. We are going to need steel to make nice structures and everything. Let's carry on planning out. So each of these bedrooms is going to need a torch. We'll get those scheduled in. This is going to have electricity, so let's get a standing lamp in here. And in fact, we can set this as a food stockpile ahead of time by clear everything from there. We're going to allow all food in here, and we're going to allow animal corpses. And if we start off our solar generators building, I kind of want them to be a little bit further away from the wood. We could have them over here and run some power cables around. That could potentially work. Let's have that there. We'll have that there. Those two should probably do to start off with. And then power conduits will run from here across and down and then into that cooler. We will eventually use this for other things, of course, but for now that will be enough to get this cooling it during the daytime, and then at night hopefully it won't warm up too much, and then we'll get some batteries so that those coolers can run permanently. Not a bad start for our first day. So whatever we have in the stockpiles gets listed up here, so you can see we've got 841 steel, we've got some granite blocks, and we've got 43 food. With 3 people eating, his happiness is a little bit low. We've got quite a few days worth of food, but we do need to get on this growing, which is why we've got these points already set out. Right, so Kevin, why are you unhappy? You can have a look at their health and their needs to see what's going on. Extremely low expectations because we're a brand new colony. He's not expecting much. 8 without a table, he's joy deprived. Ah yes, we need to make a form of entertainment, and everything is ugly. That's fine. We can work on improving that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some horseshoes down. Let's make it a steel horseshoe block, and we'll put this out in the open just so that they can go and play. When they've got some joy time, they'll go out, they'll fling horseshoes, and that'll improve their mood. You can click on people to find out what they're doing. So at the moment, Cameron is hauling steel for the solar generator, Kevin is hauling steel to the stockpile, and basically they're all hauling steel all the way from up here. As I mentioned, it will take a little bit longer, but I'm eager to get it before things get difficult for us. Kevin is still pretty unhappy. Once we get that table built, though, it should improve things, and as these get built, we'll give him the first bedroom. Now, Chloe, we can assign your training once things start building and get that going. There's a lot of depth to this this colony sim, and apologies if I tend to rush past a lot of it. But there's a fair bit that's going on. A lot of it is quite self-explanatory. Mostly we're building food and shelter at the moment, and once we've got that, we can start working on things to trade, better arm ourselves, build some defences, and just generally improve our walk of life. In fact, you know why things aren't getting built? Because we don't have any wood. So let's get some wood chopping now. There's a whole bunch right here that is ripe for the harvest, and this as well. Let's get the whole lot of it going. 2 colonists idle. Right, so if we put this on 4 for those, if there's nothing else to do, they will find things to do, and they're all going to cut trees now. Let's unforbid that. We're going to unforbid all of the items that we have so that they get moved to a stockpile at least. Taking their mid-morning joy session, that will work on improving their mood. Although Kevin is still pretty damn unhappy. Kevin's definitely going to get the first bedroom. once this generator's built, I'm actually going to prioritize that table over there. So, prioritize working on the table. We can come back and do that later. And then we'll prioritize working on one of the chairs. If he doesn't do it instantly. And that way at least they can sit and eat and be a little bit happier. Now, the solar generator's being built, it's producing power, but we don't have anywhere to store it, which is why it's telling us we need batteries. They have to be under shelter, otherwise they will end up getting rained on, and then they can cause electrical shorts, which is very bad. That starts fires, and fires kills colonies. Right, here comes the cooler going in. It's not really going to do much until this area is enclosed, of course, and until the power conduits get run across, but it is progress forwards. Yeah, Kevin is quite stressed. Let's work on improving that for Kevin. So Kevin, because you're so stressed out, we're going to set you to just joy. Spend your time doing whatever you want, just for the moment. You can rest, you can sleep. Hopefully your sleep won't get too disturbed. There we go, disturbed sleep once. It does remember when people have ended up doing that. But hopefully having joy for the full time will offset things a little bit. What's Cameron doing? He's relaxing socially before bed. That's fair enough. Yeah, people aren't particularly happy at the moment, but things will improve once we get this up and working. And the early days of the colony are really what make or break it. I still haven't quite got a perfect plan for how things work, but I've got an idea for how to get things through the first stages at least. Okay, and once these guys wake up, which should happen soon enough, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I think they wake up about 5. Yeah, 5 o'clock they will wake up. Hopefully we'll see the next areas start getting built. Can prioritize the bedrooms for them. Now there are some things that when sat outside don't really deteriorate. Most things do, but given the amount of time that these are going to be outside before we get ourselves a nice indoor storage area, I'm not that worried about it. Okay, 3 AM, 4 AM. Yeah, that's going to be enough wood for a while. And the light comes on just as the solar generator kicks in. If people are in the dark, that of course makes them even more unhappy as well. So we can work to manage their mood by mitigating each of the factors one by one. Joy deprived, that'll get sorted in just a moment when he wakes up and starts doing his own thing. And once we've got these built, we can work on getting ourselves a little kitchen and start making some meals for long-term survival. We're down to 33 meals at the moment. Let's... Spoils in 2 days. If we get this built in time, we can unrestrict that and bring it in. Otherwise, I'm not that fussed by it. Cameron is going to town on the various bits of building. You'll notice that the AI is quite clever in the way that it picks up a whole bunch of stuff and then organises to do a lot of work in the same area at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to reinstall this down over here. And then once this room is finished, that'll become Kevin's. Although Kevin's looking a bit happier, let's take him off his work restriction. So Kevin can go back to doing useful stuff for us. Ooh, just one little bit left to go on that. Right, so this set owner is going to be Kevin's. Kevin's got his own bedroom. And it is now fully roofed. It's got light. That should keep him happy for a while. We'll get these reinstalling as well. Now the granite chunks, they look ugly, so we're going to get those hauled out of the bedroom just to somewhere else. And overall, this colony is starting to take shape. Now, as people perform actions, they get better at things. If I bring up his character skills for construction, you'll see that he's got an experience level 3,438 out of 8,000. Because he's got a passion for it, he will learn quite quickly as he goes along. And you can see it ticking up and ticking up and ticking up. The better you are at stuff, the better you work at it. It's as simple as that, really. Okay, that room is sorted. This room is very nearly sorted. And it looks like we've got some visitors coming in. Right, let's assign this. This is going to be Ricky's bed. And that one is all sorted. The roof is going up. Cool. 2 people taken care of. So these guys that are coming down here, they're just stopping by to say hello. Sometimes you can trade with them. In this case, these are just visitors. They're just walking past to have a look and see how our new colony is going. They're not actually that bothered with trading with us, but they might send out people in the future as they learn a bit more about us. They're totally abusing our table, though. Having a look around the back of our walls. Okay, larder is very, very nearly finished. We've got a couple of bits left to do over there. But this is going all right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to get building is going to be an electric stove and some batteries. In fact, if I get one battery in here now, we'll keep it just there, I think. It's close enough that it's going to pick up on that. And then for production, we're going to want an electric stove. We'll put that, yeah, just along the back wall, I think. We're going to build some shelves in here for better storage, but for the moment, it's absolutely fine as it is. This area will get cooled down once we take this down to 1 degree. Now we want it to be freezing, which will stop stuff spoiling. And then we can move all the medicines and things in. In fact, if we set this as... So manufactured, we also want medicines in here. And we want this to be the critical priority. Food will always go in here if possible. And then as we build shelves in here, we'll do much the same. In fact, let's get them going now. So we're going to copy those settings. And we're going to go furniture... shelf, and we'll put shelves all along the walls. I'm going to wait until that bit's finished at the back though, just before I do the last little bit. We'll get that one in there for now. Okay. So, we've actually gotten far enough through that they think it's a worthwhile colony. The visitors are leaving, so we need to name ourselves. These are going to be the benevolent colonists. Just because they don't have plans of taking over the world or anything like that. They're just nice, friendly guys, you know, digging into a mountain, building some defenses, killing everyone that comes nearby. And this colony itself, we're going to call it a Baden's Gate, I think. Right, you can see they're ferrying all of the stuff that needs to be refrigerated inside. And starting work on our shelving. Having a look at this, they've got the right storage area, storage level for that. We're going to set this back to being normal. And we're going to clear that. We're going to paste the settings. In fact, we'll have that as important. Can we do all of them at the same time? I think we can do all of them at the same time. So paste settings. In fact, there we go. So storage, priority, important, copy, paste. So they'll store stuff on the shelves when possible, and if they can't, then they'll do it elsewhere. We've got a battery, so that's going to start building up a charge, which will allow us to run this cooler during the night. And if you look over on the right-hand side, you can see it actually lists off the temperature down here. Indoors, it is 0 degrees, which is perfect. That's what we want for it to be nice and cold. Let's get some food cooking. Cook simple meals. Do it until we have... not 100, that's too many. 75, I think. That's going to be plenty. We've already seen that. So, our colonists are now idle. We need to find new things for them to do. Ricky and Kevin. We can get more buildings building. That seems like a pretty sensible option. I'll probably build like a weapons store pile thing here. So, let's get that going. Structure, wall. And we will get some floors in. We need floors in here, actually. Get a door there. We may as well put a door there as well. And we'll get another bedroom off this side. Just so that we're prepared for the future. I also want to build a prison in case we get attacked so that we can hold people captive and potentially recruit them. So we'll get that over here. So, door in the middle for the prison, door on the side for the bedroom. We need some furniture. Let's get a bed in here. We'll get 2 beds in here. Torch down here. Eventually I'm going to run power conduits and everything will be powered by electricity. But for the moment we've only got the 1 battery, so that's fine as it is. I might turn this into battery storage actually, that's pretty sensible. Power. Battery. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that'll probably do actually. Power conduit down to there. Only need 1 more power conduit in there. And yeah, we'll run some centrally like that. Just so that we can get power throughout the base itself. It's going to take a fair bit of steel, but it'll be worth it in the long run. Okay, we need more floors. Floors in here. Floors in here. Now, what happened to the bed? Did it get left somewhere? I mean, Cameron's rocketing through stuff, so I'm not really that concerned. We will get more wood being cut, though, because we are definitely running low on it. So that's orders, chop wood. We'll get all of that, please. And all of that. Oh, mad animal. Right. Okay, there is a mad squirrel coming for us. It's a manhunter, so it's going to try and find everyone and kill them. We're going to draft everyone and we'll get them to stand near each other so that as it comes charging in we can shoot it and defend ourselves. Let's move slowly as it comes a bit closer. There we go. Squirrel down. Undraft them. Everyone can go back to what they were doing. That squirrel is dead, so we can haul it in here, and we should probably actually build a butcher's table now I think about it. Let's do that outside. So production, butcher's table. In fact, is not the best plan that I've got for that. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to reinstall the battery there. Once that's done, we'll build a butcher's table inside, and that'll be far more efficient. It's always difficult when you've got only one person doing the construction, but Cameron is getting through things very quickly, so it won't take us too long. As for defences, we're going to build some sandbags around and some deadfall traps over this side. That by now is... oh, it's still fresh, but it spoils in less than a day. Let's unforbid it, so we'll get it hauled in. It should freeze and then it'll be fine. There's not a huge amount left of it, but we should be able to still butcher it up. There we go. Frozen won't spoil. Let's drop this down a little bit lower, actually. If we take it to -3, then it shouldn't get warm enough to unfreeze. Right, flooring is being built all over the place. And flooring will make the place look better, make people happier, and everyone's a winner in that situation. Ooh, a chunk of spacecraft has landed nearby. We can get components from these, so we might send someone to deconstruct those, but for the moment we've got enough in our own area. We've got that ship chunk as well to potentially deal with, so I'm not actually that fussed by that. Yeah, his bed is in the wrong place, which is a bit of a shame. Because we need that one to still be constructed. It's very nearly done. I should prioritise that actually with Cameron. It is his own bed, really, but it will make him much happier having that done. There we go, that is the right temperature. Our battery is ticking down. You can see our current usage. As we get more lights throughout, that will have a larger draw on us, on our power reserves, which is why we've got so many other batteries that we're looking to make. There is still a chance that they will end up exploding, but they're pretty well contained, so I'm not too fussed about that. Eventually we'll want to have like a steel enclosure so they can't set fire to anything else, and then we can send people into firefight, but for now that's perfectly fine. Having a look at how things look, we can click on this down here and then mouse into an area to see what it looks like. -0.9 isn't too bad for a bedroom. It's a little bit dirty, but overall it's alright. It's homely. -0.6 is also pretty good. This one is even better, except there's chunks of rock in it, and it will need a bed in there as well. The rest of the place is also looking pretty good. So generally people aren't going to feel too bad at the moment just from the place being ugly. And if we find Kevin and click on his needs, his bedroom isn't that good. The environment is a bit ugly, but overall he's comfortable. He's got lots of joy. He's hungry and he wants a big bedroom, but those are just his character traits. Because they're eating at the table, that stops them getting unhappy from that. And the battery has been moved. Perfect. Let's select this stockpile zone. We will expand that just a little bit for what it's worth, and we will get the butcher's table inside there. We're going to need more wood for it, but they're fast at work cutting wood down. In fact, let's get some more ordered actually. Get that bit up there done. There's quite a bit there as well. And that's all shallow water, so that won't be a problem to walk through if they need to. New batteries coming online. So it lists our total storage as well, which is a really, really nice feature, I think. You can have separate grids. So if you want to make sure that if something blows out, it doesn't kill everything, you could isolate certain areas. Also means that you can have switches set up to power or depower certain things. Okay, right, let's set this as a weapons stockpile for now. In fact, is there anything out here that we want? In fact, we could just move this entire stockpile inside. So let's go stockpile zone. We do need... let's harvest that, actually. Get the heal root harvested. This is going to be clear everything. We don't want foods in there. We'll have manufactured goods except for medicine. We'll have... yeah, items as well. And we'll have weapons and clothing elsewhere. Yeah, that'll be fine for that one. And we'll set this as the preferred stockpile. At the same time, the stockpile over here, we will take off all the manufactured stuff. And we will take off all the items. So they will gradually get moved across. While I think about it, let's get a standing lamp in here. So we've got a little bit of light. Same for the prison. These guys, I'm happy with them having these. In fact, no. Let's deconstruct these torches, and we'll just get everyone with a proper light now. Lights can go up there like that. Now with the power view, you can actually see which areas are powered and which aren't. And clicking over here, we can see the total connected rate versus what's stored. We're still generating, of course, but the power output for the grid as a whole is not doing that well. As it's getting a little bit later into the evening, obviously we're generating less and less electricity. Right, you know what? We're going to set this one for Cameron because it's actually finished, and this one will become a medical bed when it's in. Finally, he's going to build what was going to be his old bed. Right, so this one's for medical. This is for prisoners. And now we can think about what we're going to do to potentially defend this area from attack. Let's have a look at the security options. So for security, we can build sandbags, which is probably the most sensible initial thing to build. We get that area sandbagged, then that gives us a good defensive position facing that direction. In fact, I'll even take it out one further than that. So we can get 3 colonists lined up in a line if someone's coming from that way. Over this way, we're probably going to build some deadfall traps and a little bit of labyrinth, just in order to protect us in case someone decides to come that way. So for now, let's go structure. We'll get a wall zigzagging back and forth. And we will get some traps over there. So once again to the security tab, deadfall trap. Let's do them every other one. And once these are built, we can set them to rearm. And our colonists will just make sure that they're constantly ready to spring. Okay, we have low food. Mousing over this, we can see we've got 12 days worth in storage, and we're getting through enough that we've only got 3 days left. Let's have a look at who's assigned to what. Our hunter is Ricky. So we could actually go around and mark some things for hunting, and Ricky will take care of that for us. I think that's probably a good plan, actually. Where is Ricky? Ricky's up there. Let's get that marked for hunting. Oh, a tortoise, yeah. And a hare. And an emu. And a tortoise. And we'll also get some bills for butchering animals in here. That's fair enough. We'll just queue up an absolute load. If there's anything to butcher, then butcher it. Come on, it's a stationary creature. Right, clicking on someone, you can actually mouse over the item to find out what their chance to hit is. He has hit it, but he's only got an 18% chance to hit, so he's pretty bad. And as it's getting further away, his chance to hit is going down and down and down, and he's not actually getting any closer. Worst hunter. Now that it's down, he'll step closer and finish it off, but that was not a brilliant hunt. Thankfully, getting him doing this is going to get him better at it. Right, who actually did we give the pistol to? That's probably worth us double checking. You've got the knife, you've got the pistol. So for work, we're also going to put Cameron on hunting as a low priority, just so that we can potentially get a bit better. As for our crops, they're coming along quite well. There's a fair bit that needs to be done before they can be harvested. We can harvest berries and things, so actually I'm going to set some of that going. That'll give us some more food options as well. Anything up here? A little bit of heel root there. Yeah, mostly it doesn't look like there's huge amounts of awesome resources. We'll leave that steel there for the moment. Any more berries that are easy to get to? Let's have a look over this side. It doesn't look like it. There's a good number of hares though, and squirrels and things, so let's set some of them for hunting. We won't go near the lynx. That just sounds like a bad plan. A bad plan waiting to happen. So, this is RimWorld. I hope you're enjoying it. I absolutely love this game. It's got all the right kind of aesthetics. The AI is spot on. They've been doing a lot of development on it recently, so I do feel like it is improving every time I have a look at it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to finish that episode there, but I will be running this as a bit of a long-going series on this channel. So tune in next time, and we'll carry on building and developing, and hopefully getting more food. I'll see you soon.